Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. Should we see what's going on a lovely island of Fawnhallow today? Where we'll be relaxing as per usual, later recording than usual. Not because of D&D, normally that's why I said D&D, but no, not today at the very least. God, I forgot. I don't know, but I felt like there was something I was going to talk about today, but I can't remember what it was. So I'm sort of just going to meander about until I finally think of something. Watched more Squid Game with my friends. We got to episode 3. But good evening, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 9:16 PM on Friday, January 17th, 2025. Yeah, and honestly, it's very good. And I'm not going to say much more about it at the moment because I have a vague idea of things which. How should I put this? Like, I've been spoiled on some things. Mainly, I know the games. So that's going to be like, I'm not going to talk about it until we get to it. And also, I can actually, judge by the actual show itself, like how it's incorporated. But I would say one of the games, it's a rare case where, it's actually new, I think. Well, actually, no, is that true? I was going to say it's a rare case where I actually knew what the games were, like, when I heard about them, not just being like, what's that? Like with Dalgona, I'd be like, I have no idea what that is. The others, I was like, oh, I actually know this game. Anyway, that's not what I'm going to talk about today. So that's runes. What am I going to talk about today? I don't really know necessarily what comes to mind. I don't know why I said like that. Mind. I don't have any backlog right now in videos. And I might be busy tomorrow evening, so it's going to be a bit difficult to try and get everything. I want to build up a backlog again. But it's always very difficult. It's difficult to, manage everything in life, but, you gotta try a little bit sometimes. Animal Crossing, Fawnhallow, how's that coming along? It's definitely something that I want to get done in advance. Learning from last year where I spent 100 days not doing it. Well, not 100 days, it was late 100 days, that's probably the better way to put it. I've almost done the rough sketch or everything, and then I'll be moving on to a refined sketch, and then it'll be line art, flat colours, then actual shading, rendering. But some parts of rough sketch I still sort of need to iron out, but apart from that, it's like, honestly, I think it's coming along pretty well, to be honest. I'm getting to the end of Talos Principle 2 and Everhood. I think Everhood might be the next one to finish. I don't remember what game I'm going to play after Everhood. Oh no, I do remember. I can even look at my Steam library just to see what games I have. I'm pretty sure I remember which game I've chosen to be the next one. This game is going to be next, but not for the story-based series. Story-based series. Well, I don't know if it's story-based because I don't even know if this one's story-based. But that sort of story-based, chill vibe sort of one. It's either going to be this one or this one. I'm not particularly sure. Maybe this one. I don't know if it's actually story-based, but this is more like a visual-based game. But nonetheless, it's going to be one of those two. I have a lot of mechanical-based games. I feel like at the moment. Yeah, but it's a weekend, chilling, relaxing. What am I going to talk about today? I don't know. So I really don't have anything. I'm just sort of consumed by the thoughts of the fact there's Nintendo Switch 2 coming out, but also like there's nothing to really say about it. So this way we get to ask us games and see what people are speaking about. What games have a worst opening hour? That's a really great question. What games have I thought about? Or have I played where I'm just like the first opening hour, first 3 episodes or 2 episodes if it's an old one, where I've just been like, this game has not won me over. I don't know. What game? Oh, hold on. I need to look up my games and think what that would be true for. It's got to be a story game because most mechanical games kind of just like get straight into it, right? But just kind of like you go boom, bada boom, and then you get introduced to everything. Everhood? I think Everhood I was mainly just confused for the first hour or so. Okami? I don't even remember what the first episode of Okami was like. The first episode of Okami, I'm pretty sure was just me reading the cutscenes, so that's probably up there for not great. I feel like a lot of these other... the good thing about indie games is they sort of get stuck into it very quickly. They sort of be like, hey, here you go, boom. This is the central premise and this is what you'll be doing for the rest of the game. And I'd be like, awesome, got it. Let's go. Chicory? Nah. I don't know if Chicory won me over, but I don't think Chicory lost me either. Chicory was just sort of like a very neutral start, I think. The one shot very much confused me. I think there's a lot of games which I just start out confused. I feel like there's not many games where I'm just like, I feel like it's prohibitively bad. No, Akami is actually the top reply here. Akami's just pretty bad. 20 minutes of exposition and backstory. I swear that I was like, I have this vague memory of me sitting down to record the first episode of Akami. I mean, it's just being literally the entire cutscene. I mean, like, it's the end, and I'm like, I've done nothing except for read narration. It's interesting, you know, first impressions certainly count, openings certainly count. It's not something that you think of so much of a game, but it's probably, I wonder if it is legitimately the most important part of the game. The beginning, the second most important, the ending, and third most important, I suppose, the middle part, right? Because that first impression matters a lot. If you're talking from a strictly sort of like retention viewpoint, where it's just like you want people to play your game and continue playing your game, you got to get invest swinging, you know, in such a way that people are just like, yeah, you know what, this is somewhat interesting. This, in some ways, has engaged me. This core mechanic, or this core gameplay, or this core lore, that's a bit weird to say, has engaged me to a certain degree, to the extent where I'm just like, oh yeah, I want to keep going. Let's see more about what this is about. Let's see what more I can learn from this. Let's see what else you're willing to give me. What game has the best opening? Oh, that's a great question. What game have I played where I've just been like, I've been utterly engaged from the get-go? That's a great question. I don't think I have an answer for. What games have I completed? Which that is true. Completed offline, completed YouTube. Divinity has a pretty decent... Well, okay, Divinity's opening prologue, I should say, is very good. Maybe it's not immediate opening. It's that good. I can't remember its immediate opening, though. What game have I played that's immediately engaged me? In the opening section. Night in the Woods, actually, now I think about it, has a very slow opening. For like an hour. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's opening out is bad necessarily. It's just more like Night in the Woods is very, very, very slow up until like the first 2/3 of it is like surprisingly slow. Oxenfree, that's an interesting one. I think I was just mostly confused by it. Portal? Oh, Portal has a very good opening, doesn't it? Where immediately I was like, what is going on? Undertale? Undertale's got a pretty good one, to be honest. A lot of these don't really have openings. Like Terraria doesn't really have an opening, it just sort of dropped into the world. Chicken Police opening? I don't remember Chicken Police opening. Button City I still got installed apparently for some reason. Manage. Uninstall. Sorry Button City, you're gone. Beacon Pines opening? Bug Fables? I don't remember a lot of these openings actually. So I think it's hard for me to necessarily say what I thought had a good opening or a bad opening. Grim Fandango? Generally no record. I cannot tell you. That's an interesting question, which is a different one from what I asked of what has the best opening, but how many of these games' openings can I legitimately remember? I'll do the YouTube series, because then you know for sure I played them. Babra's You? Well, okay, no, that doesn't really count, because I played the one Babra's You barely has an opening, and two, I played the dev levels or something, and the extra levels. Beacon Pines opening. It opens with Luca sitting at his father's grave. I remember that much. And talking to his father's grave. Bug Fables. Oh my god, my first series I've ever played. Oof, how does it open? We must play as Vi, surely. I don't remember what we did though. In the slightest. I remember like the first like area we explored, the dungeon, but the rest of it's gone. Button City I played so recently, I should remember the opening, but I don't. What is the opening for Barra? But whatever. Chance of Sonata? Chance of Sonata doesn't have an opening. Don't you just like spawn in? Chicken Police, I have no recollection what Chicken Police is opening in. It's probably some sort of noir monologue. I love Chicken Police. Chicken Police is great. Chicken Police, great game. Do we think... Hold on, who are creators at Chicken Police? Have you made more games yet? The Wild Gentleman. Moses and Plato. Wild Tactics. What are all these games? Are those new releases? No, those are old games. Oh, Zips Cafe. Wait, what? All. Last Train to Clawville demo. Oh, soon to be announced. Right, it's not been released yet. I see. That's the next game they're doing. What the heck is this game? Wild Tactics. Oh, also yet to be announced. You know what? Fair enough. It's like an XCOM game or something. What opening of a game has really struck me? That's a really good question. I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head which has like lived in my mind. I feel like the Portal one feels iconic, but I'm not sure if it's necessarily one which people would say. Because it's like you just open up in a test chamber room and you're just kind of like, what's going on? Half-Life's one's actually pretty good, isn't it? Even though the opening is the only thing I played, I was like, this is a cool opening, isn't it? You're in the city when you eventually get chased or something. Iconic opening. James Bond. Okay, I'm trying to think of video game openings, not movie openings. James Bond has a very iconic, I suppose, opening way. It's really hard to say. Animal Crossing opening? I don't remember what the Animal Crossing opening is. Or isn't it you're just like talking to Nook or something? And he's like, hey, you're signing up for your Paradise Care package or something? Breath of the Wild has a pretty good opening, doesn't it? Isn't that like you wake up as Link and you have no idea what's going on? I've also, despite the fact I've owned Breath of the Wild, the exact same length of time I've owned a Switch, I've actually yet to play it for no reason whatsoever, except that I've just never got around to doing it. I don't know, I feel like I've got to search it. You know, let's see. Video game with best opening. BioShock, Last of Us. I haven't played any of these. What video game has the best opening sequence? Dead Space 2 cold open is pretty intense. Half-Life. I was going to say Half-Life is pretty cool. From the vague thing I remember. But I've only played the intro of Half-Life, but I was still like, this is pretty cool. Doom, don't remember. Beyond Good and Evil, Mass Effect 2. Which of these have I played? Final Fantasy, Prey. Fallout, Borderlands, Mass Effect, Final Fantasy, Titanfall, Doom, Outlast. Oh, Outlast, that's an interesting one, right? I can't quite remember the intro for that one. I only sort of vaguely played it as well. Forza Horizon? Oh, that's true. Skyrim is one that's very iconic, right? You're finding a way, trying to cross a border. I should get back to actually playing Skyrim at some point. Like, actually giving it more of a shot. Because I played it like a tiny amount. I don't have any recollection of what I did. I remember I bought it on sale as well. £14 when I bought it. Now it's probably like £3 on sale or something. Knights of the Old Republic. I haven't played most of these games. Ori and the Blind Forest. It's probably very gorgeous. I genuinely don't remember what it was the opening. I feel like I vaguely remember Will of the Wisps one, isn't it? Like you see Ori and Kubo? I can't remember any of the characters' names. And the spider thing, right? You're always sort of just chilling out and then something happens. I don't know. Best video game openings that will suck you right in. Ghost of Tsushima, God of War 3, Assassin's Creed 2, Star Wars, Elder Scrolls, Skyrim. Okay, there you go. Last of Us. That's such a good one. Last of Us 1 was crazy when it was released. I never personally played it, but I was just like, that is insane. Heart-wrenching. It's perhaps the way I would probably put it. Iconic opening. Memorable opening. I don't know if it's... I guess the opening doesn't really matter to me too much, because I feel like if I'm playing the game in the first place, I've already committed to the investment, where I'm just like, oh yeah, I already know I'm going to play it for a bit. You know, I give the game its fair shake, so the opening doesn't need to hook me in as much. What needs to hook me in, I suppose, is a core gameplay loop, which I'm not going to say that's a particularly unusual thing, but it's more like a, you know, I guess my opening is seeing what other people have thought about the game, have played and said about it, and thus I already know, yeah, this is a game I'm willing to play, this game I'm not willing to play, you know. Does that really count? I don't really know if that counts. That probably doesn't, but still. I just sort of, to me, that's sort of like, that's, I guess I'm kind of skipping out the part of the opening, because by the fact that I'm already playing it, it's kind of just like, I've already been like in my mind, yes, I'm going to give you a chance. You don't need to hook me in anymore. You have my undivided attention for at least a few hours for me to judge whether I'm going to continue or stop playing you, I suppose, at any point. That therein can be of interest, I would say. That therein can be the draw, be the something where I'm like, yes, this is of note for me to be pulled in. Yeah, I don't know what else I was going to say about that. Sorry, this is my mind is already like set on being like, can I think of any more sort of like iconic openings of games which I played? What was it? It Takes Two opening? I don't think it was that iconic, to be honest. I would say I think It Takes Two's like plot points were actually one of the weakest parts of it, surprisingly. It's just complete. Its vibes were just crazy. Endlings, I feel like, must have had a pretty good one. Ending, I think more about its ending rather than its opening necessarily, or the ongoings of it. Might be the better way to put it. Cuphead, I guess that's a fun one. Death's Door. I don't remember what Death's Door one. I don't remember how. Like, I'm trying to think of a literal beginning part, the opening. Heavens, what I have no recollection of what the opening was. Here Comes Nico. Here Comes Nico. You start on a train. Hollow Knight. You just wake up right in the windy place, whatever it's called. Later Alligator. Life is Strange. True Colors. Sort of vaguely remember here and there. Little Nightmares. Well, okay, it's interesting to say, because can a game which, you know, like Little Nightmares is basically the entire premise of the opening is to be a mystery, to sort of reel you in of confusion and I want you to ask questions. Can that ever be an opening which is, you know, considered one of the best, considered one of the most engaging? I don't know. Apparently I've still got Okami installed, so let's, for one, uninstall that and also remove it from... Oh no, this is a completed section. This is right. Omari? Opus Magnum? I don't remember Opus Magnums. Paradise Killers? Paradise Killers I think I didn't understand because I was like, I don't understand the lore yet. What's going on? Return of the Obra Dinn has a great tutorial. Iconic opening? I'm not sure if I'd say that yet. Spiritfarer? I don't remember Spiritfarer's Stray? I'm not sure if I put it up on that level. Yeah. I feel like it has to go to Last of Us, despite the fact I've not played that game. I'm just like, that's an opening, which, despite the fact I've never played, still sits in my memory, rent-free, as they say. Anyway, on that note, I guess I'll round this episode off here. So, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope we see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.